All right, hope everybody's doing well. Today we are going to look at adding and subtracting fractions, and nothing has changed here. Remember that a fraction is a ratio, and in order to combine two expressions that are both ratios, they have to have the same denominator. And if they don't have the same denominator, then you're going to have to multiply by a form of 1 to get them to be the same denominator. So looking at problem number 1, you can see that both of these ratios, both of the fractions, have a denominator of 7. So that makes it very easy. All we're going to do is combine by adding the numerators together. So the final result here would be 5/7. So looking up at this other problem, you can see that they have exactly the same denominator. Difference here is now the denominator is an expression, x minus 4. Still the same concept. We are going to add the numerators as long as the denominators are exactly the same. So we would have x plus 2 over x minus 4. Now, there's nothing to simplify here because this is an expression. I cannot simplify the 2 and the 4 because they are being added or subtracted to something first. Order of operations is important. Same thing is going to apply down here. All right, so continuing on, subtraction is going to be exactly the same thing. Denominators have to be the same. So let's look at one where the denominators are not the same, like number 3. You can see that this denominator is an 8 and this denominator is a 4. So I'm going to multiply by a form of 1 to make the denominators the same. And so this first fraction remains 3/8. The second fraction now you have to multiply by the form of 1, which we chose to be 2 over 2, so that I would get 8 in the denominator. And now it's exactly the same thing. You're going to have 8 over 3 plus 2, which is going to be equal to 5/8. Still looking at doing the exact same thing when the denominators have expressions. So looking at that, that expression right there, we don't have a 3 in the denominator, so that means my form of 1 is going to be x plus 1 over x, and now multiplying by my form of 1, which is going to be 3 over 3. So you can see when you have an expression in the numerator, that's going to have to be distributive property. That's why we're looking at that so closely. All right, so now still looking at that, this one remains exactly the same. This one, however, is going to be 3x plus 3 over 3x. So the denominator is the same. Add the numerators, so that's going to be 3x plus 3 plus 5, so 3x plus 8 over 3x. And that would be your final answer. Again, we can't simplify the 3x's because in the numerator it's actually an expression, and it'd have to be 3x added to 8 before I could simplify. So the big thing here is making sure that you have the denominators the same. You do that by multiplying by a factor of 1 that's going to be conducive to making the denominators exactly the same. Be some more problems, some little bit harder problems that I'm going to post today. So good luck.